What's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing great. I hope y'all doing awesome. Anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit about hurricanes and stuff, and disasters, and all these storms and stuff like that, and snowstorms and all that. Depends on where you live and everything. I've probably done a video about this before, but you can do it all during the year. That way, you ain't got to do it at one time. But if you notice, have at least about $500 for a disaster, as others have maybe $50 in ones, $100 in fives, $100 in tens, have probably about $50 in change at least, and you can have the rest in 20s. And it can vary from that. I'm just saying you need to have all that kind of change and broke down in cash and all that, because if a storm happens and there's no power, or there is power but there's no internet or whatever where they can use a card, as in other words, it might be cash only. If it's cash only, it means you got to go in there and pay with cash. And if you ain't got none, you ain't getting no gas, ain't getting no food. And when I say that, it's because where I live at, there was like one time a half a road from make me able going anywhere. When I say half a road, I mean it's like it was at and I mean when I say half, there was a dam, an old mill dam or whatever. The dam didn't break, but the water come across the road and cut half the road off. As in other words, on the where the road was going on the other side, it cut the dirt out from under it and the road fell. So you had a half a lane, I could go across the bridge or get to the bridge and go across. And that was the only way I could get around. I mean, because everything else was took out the roads or cut through the dirt or whatever. I mean, when I say cut through it, it cut through it. It wasn't no little ditch cut through it. It was like 20, 30 feet cut out of the road, or 20, 30 feet no road, or even I see one place, it looked like it was about 200 feet of no road. But anyway, and like I said, there might be nothing but a convenience store down the road from you. So you might have to go to a convenience store, get something to drink, something to eat, or whatever, if they're open. That's the whole thing, you never know. But if you need gas or whatever to go anywhere, and there's no internet, no Wi-Fi, or none of that crap that can use your card, or the card system is down, yes, I will. And I mean, that happens. I mean, like it or not, it happens. I mean, there could be towers, it could be cables knocked off. I mean, a tree could have fell on the lines and took it out. A tree could pulled up the cables that was buried underground. The towers could be out. I mean, it could be a lot of things going on. So if you notice, so like I said, you do it all during the year. And I say at least 500. If you can't do 500, I understand. Try to do 200 at least. And just put it away. I mean, it shouldn't affect you. As in other words, have it put up in a safe or whatever. I suggest you get a safe. But put it away. I mean, that way you'll have it in case of emergency. Tell you something else. Get your bag, and you can use this bag for anything. Like a little duffel bag could be, I mean, it could be a small little cooler or whatever. I mean, duffel bag, you know what I'm talking about. $19, $20. Or get your little duffel bag and get Band-Aids, stuff like insect bites. Get you one of those wind up flashlights, or that's got a radio on it, emergency flashlight. Like I said, you use this for anything. Just put a bunch of Band-Aids in there, put stuff, anything that happens, that's where you'll have it. I got a bag, and I actually gave my bag to my youngins, or one of my kids, two of my, well, I would have given, how many I give? I actually gave it out to two of my kids. I got emergency bags where it's got the wind up flashlight with the radio on it. Band-Aids, insect bites, all of that stuff is in those bags. And I gave it to them because, kids or whatever. So I gave it to them in case something happens. They probably done used it all up. And it's also aspirin, Tylenol, stuff like that in there. Stuff for, I guess, allergies in there. All that stuff I put in the bags, it's just emergency. I mean, a lot of times when something happens, right, you get a mosquito bite, you're gonna use it. All your Neosporins in there, and it's just emergency bag. Everything's kept in that bag. I mean, you can put it in a man's cabinet, I don't care, but I just keep in that bag. That way I can grab the whole bag and go where I need to get to. just in case you gotta leave. And if you gotta leave where you're staying at, I mean, for example, if you know there's a hurricane coming in, if you live near the coast, you gotta leave, throw that bag in your car. You never know, because the way things are going. So do those things right there. That's my suggestion or whatever. And have your escape plan, have something designed or whatever. And with the money and everything, tell your wife, kids, if you got a wife, kids, so this is what this is for. Don't touch it or whatever. Like I said, keep it in a safe. You put it to the side and safe. It ain't no more than $200, $500. And if, like I said, if you can't do 500, do 200. I mean, every time you got a couple ones, throw in there. You got some change, throw in there. Whatever. It ain't got to be much, but it needs to be enough that if a storm happens and it washes out the road, or there's no internet, because I'm gonna tell you something, during the internet you can't use your car SOL if you ain't got no money. Because they ain't gonna do it on credit. As in, there's your word and you sign a piece of paper. No, they ain't gonna do it on that. So what else? I'll tell you something else you could do. I learned this a while back from other people who told me. If you know you're gonna have, if you get a lot of storms or whatever, get your charcoal grill, buy you a couple bags of charcoal, stick it to the side, because if your power goes out, you might have to start cooking food in your fridge or whatever. And plus, at least with a charcoal, you can actually cook something to eat. I mean, get your charcoal lighter, maybe fluid or lighter or whatever, and just something you know you can have. I mean, if you get a little bit, throw the charcoal in the barn or something like that. Charcoal grill ain't gotta be, I could be a $50 grill or a $20 grill. If you got a gas grill, you probably get, especially when the season's over, you go to some of these places, you probably pick up charcoal grill for like $19, you know. Just have it just in case. I mean, you never know. If you don't have no power, yeah, and you need to cook something, you got somewhere to cook food or whatever. So do stuff like that. And a lot of times you pick up charcoal, especially on these holiday sales. So anyway, that's what I got to tell you.